How did you... The two creatures that had wrapped themselves around Springtrap took shape. A black rabbit and a purple bear. Spring let out a soft hum. That's my secret. Now, I do believe we have some company. Back in the world of the present, the smoke from Purple's attack had begun to disappear. Cupcake had jumped off Spring's head. He looked up at him. Spring's ears had snapped down, his head following suit. Goldie took a tentative step forward. Spring? He asked. His hands rested below his chin. Spring didn't respond, his bangs covering his eyes. Time to be brave. Goldie took another step closer until he was right up to Spring. He placed his paw on Spring's cheek. It was cold to the touch. Please, he whispered. Spring didn't answer. His body remained still. Golden's mind shot to possibilities. This was a trick that Purple was playing. Was Purple about to attack? But what if Purple wasn't behind the attack? What if Spring... He couldn't... Golden stopped that thought. He wasn't going to allow that to enter his mind. Please. Golden leaned in closer. Please come back to me. Spring didn't move. Not even a twitch. Golden's breath shook. He pressed up until his lips met Spring's. It was only right to do what the fairy tales always told him to do when a lover was trapped. Suddenly, a pair of paws was on the old bear's hips and Golden's world was dipped down. He let out a soft squeak in response, and he felt Spring's lips grin against Goldie's own. Golden's paws instinctively reached up to protect himself, yet his paws landed on something soft and firm and entirely not his own. He leaned back to break the kiss, his eyes fluttering open. His paws had landed on Spring's chest. Spring! Golden's pupils dilated. You scared me! He whimpered out, his voice cracking softly under pressure. He tightened his grasp on Spring's chest. Now that, Spring chuckled, is the best way to wake up. His grin was smug and content. He looked like he was on cloud 9. His paws gave Golden's hips a soft squeeze. Spring was alive. He's here. Don't scare me like that again. Golden's voice came out shaky, but it remained a soft command. He rested his forehead against Spring's, letting a soft smile grace his features. Spring would honestly be lucky if Golden ever let him out of this sight after this whole incident. To be honest, Spring probably wouldn't mind that at all. Spring nuzzled into Golden. I promise I won't, he hummed back. His voice was rough after being silent for so long. It made Goldie shiver. With the creaks of two very old boys, Spring guided the two oldies back up to their feet. But Spring didn't step back, and neither did Goldie. Now that they had a moment where they weren't in danger, they could look at each other, truly look at each other, and see their both secret crutches for the first time in a very long time. Golden saw that his love desperately needed a bath, but his smile hadn't aged a day. Golden saw Spring. Spring Bonnie saw his little Goldie, who had lost his hat, yet Golden looked just as beautiful as the first day Spring ever saw him. Now, let's go find your hat. You have some crazy hat hair, Spring replied, raising his paw up to ruffle Golden's fur. Okay, let's go, Golden agreed. He kneeled down and carefully lifted Chica's cupcake off the ground. The poor little creature had his eyes wide and was vibrating. This whole thing must have been a lot of energy for him, and probably wasn't the adventure he thought he was going to get when he woke up this morning. At least that's what Cupcake thought. Golden and Cupcake were completely on two different planes of thinking right now. Golden was simply under the assumption the Cupcake was spooked. Cupcake, however, was getting a little annoyed. "But wait!" he squeaked. Goldie gave the Cupcake a little squeeze, keeping him close. Poor baby must be so scared. Spring took his free paw, gave it a little squeeze. "Now," Spring asked, "when was the last time you had your hat?" He tilted his head to the side so he could hear him better. Golden's cheeks flushed softly as their paws touched. He looked up to Spring, still finding it hard to believe that Spring was truly there, standing beside him. Well, I was with the shadows," Goldie replied. "The shadows?" he asked. Spring raised an eyebrow. Goldie nodded and took a step forward, guiding Spring out of this makeshift prison. Due to Goldie's attention on Spring, he didn't notice how the Cupcake had began to wiggle in his grasp. But Goldie didn't tell Spring that he likes him! The Cupcake was furious. What if Goldie missed his chance? After that kiss, it should be clear they both care about each other, so why not say it? Luckily, or unluckily for the Golden boys, Cupcake's words went unheard. Golden's mind was racing with questions. Does this mean Spring likes me back? He wondered. He did kiss me. He kissed me back. Does that mean he likes me? The two lost Golden boys didn't notice how both of their cheeks had turned a lovely rosy red. The two stepped onto their old stage. Finally free. With the last panel complete, the art book slowly began to close. The Cupcake's eyes snapped up to the creator. "You can't end the comic here!" All he got was a smile as the art book closed. And there we go. All done. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you so much, my cupcakes. I really do appreciate it. And please remember to like and subscribe for more great comics. Hey guys, thank you so much. This is the final chapter of The Lost Golden Boys. There will be more of these guys, and at some point I do hope to make like a whole video compilation. I think that's the word, where like I put all the chapters in one and like put them all in one and figure it out. But yeah, guys, this is the last of this chapter. It does not mean we are done with this comic. In fact, there are a couple of extras. We still have the blooper for this comic and the extra comic that's coming along our way. So that'll probably take up all of July, give or take. But yeah, I'm just very excited for you. I'm just very excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you next time on the Ship Show. Bye!